We're here. Happy day to everybody.
Dude, we're here.
We're here.
I liked it.
We are here. We have
We are, and it
arrived.
is a happy day.
It is. It's sunny here. It's like 60 degrees. It's very windy again. And there's like three bumblebees that are trying to continuously get in my door, but don't actually come in. It's very confusing.
Wild.
Wild. Today we're talking about more psychic things. We had a conversation, like we do often, about myths about psychics because I had a conversation with one of my friends who thought that all psychics were also astrologers. So I'll tell that story in a second. I love her dearly. She's a very smart person, but it made me realize there are more myths out there than perhaps I knew to begin with. And then also a little bit into discernment, because that falls into the same category of what do you think you already know versus what are you consuming? How do you feel about it? And then some tips and tricks from both of us about maybe how to consider your life choices with psychics a little bit differently.
I think we're on a fantastic path here.
Thank you. Check.
Check.
Okay,
Next.
myths. These are some of my favorite. I'm reading directly from a Medium article. Number one, all psychics are mediums.
No, no, they're not.
Mm-mm.
Psychic gifts definitely show up as needed, number one. Number two, based on like your life path, not everyone is required to see dead people. That was in the newsletter, yesterday's newsletter. Like, not everyone is required to see dead people. I have a friend who's psychic as fuck, and she literally threw down the gauntlet with her spirit guides and was like, I have no desire to see a single person that has crossed over. Don't care if it's my family, your family, their family. I don't care.
Don't want it.
I don't want to. And they were like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah. Are all mediums psychic?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's another one of those like all squares or rectangles, but not all or I don't know which way that goes in
me either.
actuality.
But I'm with
But
you.
but it's one of those. Okay. Mediums know everything about you.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't have that much time.
I don't. Also, here's the thing. Rarely any of us are like, let me just bumble around in your energy for 5 years and learn all your secrets. The thing and this is what somewhat sets me ablaze when I'm doing lives. If you want a mediumship from me, come with subjects and questions.
Hmm.
Okay. If you want me to channel something, channeling is a little different, right? But if you want that mediumship with someone that's crossed over, do not say, is Julie okay? I will lose my whole fucking mind. Julie's fine, turns out, actually. They're
Mhm.
all fine over there. But do you have something to say? Because it just needs to be specific. And you can't give us too much. Actually, you can, because we don't need to hear all of it, right? But like, if you want an answer and you want the details, just provide the question that matches.
Yeah. But you go into different rooms and they don't want even names. They just want your relationship, right? So this goes into the assumptions that everybody operates and works the same way and gets the same knowledge in the same directions.
And they
That's
don't.
where we go awry.
It is where we go awry because number one, not everybody's gifts work the same. We could have the exact same skill set to the T, and our shit will not work the same because I am me and you are you.
Yep.
Point blank. What I see is not necessarily going to be what you see. Do you have to see? No. And sometimes I say I'm seeing and I'm not seeing,
Yeah.
but I'm using my eyes. So I don't know what to
Right.
tell you.
Yeah, because it's your third.
Everyone's gifts work as they need them to.
Hmm.
But then we also have to discern, are you using a gift? There's that weird spot, right?
It is, but that's a foreshadowing because we're gonna get to discernment in a second. Mediumship or psychic abilities are an inborn gift and only a few people possess it.
Everyone possesses spiritual gifts, psychic gifts. We're born with them. That's why they're called a gift. Um, we all have them. And we all used them when we were kids. We just turned them off when we realized it was weird. But that's just based on your family structure, right? So, no, everyone's born with those.
Hmm. I think,
It always kills me when people, oh, sorry. It always kills me when people use like the Bible reference.
yeah.
Um, because what we know is Jesus was treated like everyone else, right? He insisted on it. Somebody did anyway. So if that's the case, and he had gifts, why would we not? Because aren't we made in his likeness? That's the part that doesn't translate for me
A great
when we want
question.
to talk about religion. So
Can we do a religion versus spiritualism
absolutely, we'll get my
podcast?
kid involved in that one.
Ooh, okay, I would love that. All right. All mediums are unaffected by the emotions and energies radiating from spirit.
All mediums are unaffected.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how we read.
Right.
Yikes. But okay, so taking that one step deeper, not just to be a brat, but like that's how we read, right? So when I'm tapping in, sometimes I'll be like, my chest feels tight. They died of a heart attack. That tracks. Shit fucking hurts. Okay. I had someone who had a neck situation for how they had passed. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. And in fact, in the comments, she was like, well, you keep touching your neck, and that's how they died. And I could feel it, but that wasn't the point of the message, right? Because she had asked a specific question. So I was answering it just going like this
Yeah.
while answering. And she was like, oh, that's funny. And I'm like, oh, it's not. Because you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the easiest ways for them to communicate is by feeling. So um, some people actually have that a lot. I have a friend who taps in. She considers it to be like a light tap, but she has like all the feeling. Like she'll feel how you die. She'll feel like all the emotions and everything. And it's like, whoa, turn that down. Turn that dial down. We can
We can
put
just
some
get a
space there.
glimmer of it.
Yeah.
There are some psychics though that energetically like see the energy versus feel it first, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you have to feel? No, but that goes back to my whole like, well, I see, but I don't see.
Yep.
So there's gonna be some residual. I've not run across many psychics who wouldn't be like, man, my arm feels weird. And then, that was part of like their thing. Whether it actually felt weird or not, that's a different story. And I'm
Yeah,
not saying that
because
in a way that they're lying, but sometimes we're just doing things without realizing, that we're intuiting that information. So yeah.
yeah, the like different neck pains, can then you go neck to jaw and they just like have a tooth that hurts, right? So like
Yep.
where it travels and where it starts is also part of all of the feeling and the messages that come in.
Absolutely.
Are you tuned into your senses constantly?
I don't know what it would be like to not have them on. But I do believe that there are some people who don't always have them on.
I don't think I have them all on all the time.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't think I do. Maybe I
I
do.
agree with you. But I don't understand. But that's my human brain that doesn't understand.
Oh, sure. It also feels like for me, there are ones that are still quite a lot easier to access, that those ones feels like I can use them whenever. And the other ones feel like I have to create the intention to start to really play with. But I also haven't been playing in this space as long as you, so
Very true. I feel like once I decided mine were on, they never shut off.
yeah, that seems fair.
It's hard sometimes for people to like understand that though.
Do you feel like you have to dial them in or out, or you just have to get quiet if you need a little more antenna?
Only time I actually have to get quiet, like we were talking about earlier, is for myself.
Mm,
If it's ever for me, oftentimes I do have to eliminate distractions. Why? Because we're the most biased with our own selves. So
yep.
if I'm actually trying to get that unbiased, answer from above without my own interpretation or without my own jumping in, then I do have to get still. I gotta eliminate the things and hone in. For the rest of y'all,
No.
no.
All right. Can you see or hear a spirit?
You've
Can you foresee future events?
yes. In dreams mainly. I mean, if I do tap in sometimes and like, if you're asking a future focused question, do I see it? No, I get the answer. Um, Sometimes they'll give me glimpses, but if I am foretelling it's or getting that future stuff, it's usually the dream.
And though some people can't, I would imagine either can't or don't want to see any foreseeable future events.
I don't think everybody does.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a necessary thing. And what it's going to lean into is your confidence. Because if you don't have confidence in your abilities for just what I would call like everyday stuff, are you going to have confidence in the foretelling?
Yeah.
Probably
And
not.
also feels like, as you said before too, the different people are here for different
Yep,
reasons, right? So your using of your psychic gifts are for different reasons. And if you were here specifically just as an energy healer, there may be no reason to be even thinking about, are you going to get married in 2 years to someone asking you?
absolutely. Everybody has the gifts, but it goes back to what's on your path this time.
Hmm.
I have a mentee who is very much, a lot of you are on the energy side, but she is very much on the energy side of things. And can she channel? Yeah, absolutely. Is that her strongest suit? No, the fuck it's not.
Yeah.
Her energy, immaculate.
Yeah.
Her work, so good. That's what she's here for.
Yeah. Psychics or mediums always harbor positive news.
They must not have been on my life. Who are these people? They must not hang around very much.
They're new. They're
Inaccurate.
new.
They are. It's okay. Inaccurate.
Hmm.
I do also think that again goes back to the individual. Um, you, for instance, I don't think you will get those deep, dark, heavy messages to deliver.
Yeah.
I don't. That's literally not who the fuck you are. And that's also not your people,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Um, I tend to get tasked with telling people the not great, but I just deliver it. Here it is.
The undercurrent, for those of you that haven't worked or know me or know what I'm doing, the undercurrent of that is because I lean more positive, bright light.
Mhm. Absolutely, you do.
And so that's what Jen is specifically speaking to, is that the people that I'm calling in towards me are going to
Yep.
lean towards the motivational, brighter, you can do this, you are stronger. It's more authenticity and power than it is get yourself out of your deep, dark hole. Let me help
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's really, but that also, obviously off camera subject, but that's also one of the reasons why you are called to work with that group that you're called to work with, right?
Yeah,
Especially when I was describing how I feel the energy of that child, right?
yeah,
That's your people,
yeah,
the heart opening people, and just the really that ultimate joy, because that is your energy as well. So I don't think everyone is tasked with that by any stretch of the imagination. And I do believe that there are messages for the same client that I would receive that you would not because you didn't get the message or you missed it, but because it's not yours to deliver.
oh, that's interesting too. So the news to deliver is not only the vessel who's delivering it, it's also the person and it's also where they are in their timeline.
Absolutely. It's something I actually say quite often, and I say it in like general life. For instance, the counselor or the teacher.
Yeah.
There are things that I can say to people that they would not take from anyone else. But my delivery, and just my energy around it, they're open to it. And there are also things that people would never say to me that they would feel comfortable saying to you. And that's not necessarily a good thing. But like people like work differently, right? And people's
Right.
energy precedes them. So it's all the above.
That's part of too, though, the who we're working with, we're calling in the mirrors of ourselves.
Absolutely.
That's another podcast.
It is. It is. But
Okay.
that would be then also where discernment comes into play.
I was just gonna say. So we have seen, because I've sent them to you on the Takumi Talk,
Yeah.
the people that they say something and I go, ugh, your take on this is terrible. Or you thought you were
Yes.
saying something really smart and you
No,
jumped
that was not.
14 steps and the regular person is like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
So discernment wants to show up. I think this also, because this is like the fourth time I've thought we need to be teaching discernment because it's showing up not only in what you're consuming, but also how you are conducting your life. It feels so pivotal to your ability to follow your own yellow brick road.
Because it is. Because your discernment backs up and validates or invalidates your intuition.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who is shaky on that path, right? On validating yourself, on knowing like this is where the hell I'm going, your discernment is going to be crucial for either yay or nay. Um, Oftentimes, like when you send over those videos and you give me your recap, oftentimes like I get stuff like that when we're on live and stuff. And I'll be like, what's that feel to you? And I always ask. And it's funny to me because I'll ask that and their answer will be not good or it doesn't feel truthful, but they're ride or dying for this answer that someone else gave them or for other content that they had ingested. And it's like, but if it doesn't feel good, and I'm not talking about like, it's all roses. No, I'm talking about like internally, you don't feel like it lines up. Why is it a fact for you now? I don't understand that. That's my human brain again, though.
Yes. Because you've spent more time in the places and spaces where yes and no's are clearer and you radiate more in the confidence and authenticity of why would I stay in that energy,
Yes,
whereas that is not normal.
I I agree. I would like for you all to trend a little more this way, please.
That's why we're talking about this right now.
No, I know that, and I do understand that a lot of times it is literally my human brain is like, well,
Yeah.
what are you doing? The spiritual side of me understands like this is your growth, this is your evolution, you gotta figure the fuck out. Before we intake information on the internet, I would love if we could all start by using all of our senses. Half the time, what? Go ahead.
No, I don't think they are using
I
more
don't think so.
than
I think we're mindlessly scrolling. And
three.
that's okay. That's part of what it's here for. I do truly believe that. But if we are then going to intake the information and then want to keep it, I need you to use all of your senses. Number one, do they look like they know what the fuck they're talking about? I'm not talking about how they physically look either. I don't give a shit. But do they look like they know what the fuck? You know how you just know when somebody knows something?
Yes.
Does my posture and my body stance right now indicate to you that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about? It doesn't. But when you're looking at these people and you think to yourself, do you believe what you're saying? That's number one. Number two, if they're on here talking and they said a lot without saying a damn thing, do they have a deeper understanding of what the fuck they're trying to talk about?
Mm-mm.
But don't get me wrong, I do get on these videos sometimes. I do just be dive 13 different directions. Okay. But I'm providing the information. It's
Mhm.
not fluff. It's not weird and like, did they finish their thought? Because you get that sometimes. I'll be watching some of these videos people put out. I'll be like, feel like we didn't finish that.
Hmm.
There was, it was like this weird pause, and I kept waiting for it to go on, and it didn't. Um, and then the next thing I want people to know is like the information that they're hearing, where does that hit in their body? Do you find yourself doing these numbers, looking at your phone, leaning back? You didn't like it. That was not for you, right? That message. But if you're in, and oh man, that's different. You're in. That feels different in your body. It's a whole sensory experience. Your discernment is. It's a full body thing.
And until we slow down and start to like actually ask those questions, how does this make me feel? And I think feel is the first access for most people, right?
I think so, but I know mine is. So, and it's always my gut, right? Sacral authority, imagine that. But I find that most people feel first, think last.
Yes.
But we have to get over the feeling of this person might solve my problem.
Okay, hold on. Let me get back to feeling and then let me go back to how I want everyone to solve my problems. The so if we're slowing down, and this is particularly when you come across something or someone that it feels like this might be actionable or it feels like this might be things to remember, right? This is not just like, I love this cooking video.
Right, right.
This is the next step of the things that you are intaking is how you are vibrating as a human.
Hmm.
Sorry,
Hmm.
friends, to break that news to you. But what you're consuming is becoming your whole aura, your whole atmosphere of your vibration. So we do want to start to discern towards what we resonate with so that that vibration can continually be going up. When you're watching things that don't resonate with you, that you think you might want to try to take a piece of what they're saying, but most of it doesn't, that's mixed messaging that doesn't feel good.
Absolutely. But also I want to adjust that little bit of information there.
Yeah.
You might resonate with it, but if that's not where you want to be, I'm gonna need you to scroll on.
Oh, oh, oh. So, say that differently. So if it resonates with you, like it makes sense and it feels good, but it's not actually what you want. Is that what you mean?
Right. So let's use what type of example can I use here? You resonate with in this time and space being poor.
Mm.
And so you're taking in content of people that are in similar spaces, but maybe they're not providing a context for how they moved out of it because maybe they haven't done that yet. So you're resonating with that because that is also your life, but you want to change. Therefore, the vibration that you're reaching for is not on this plane, it's on a different one. I need you to scroll faster. I need you to get out of that one. They don't have anything for you. And so if you want something different, you have to intake different content.
Ooh, yep. Okay, got it. I love that. Different content. Okay, now I forgot where we were going back to.
Yes.
Because I got
Telling
st
you you're I don't remember what I said.
I don't either.
It's
It'll
okay.
come
We'll move
back
on.
if it's
It
supposed to.
will.
Okay, so we're raising our vibration, we're discerning. Oh, it's not for you. You said solve my problems. Got
Yeah.
there.
There you go. Good job.
Okay, all of us are looking for things to solve our problems. So, especially in those rooms where people are answering question after question after question and they're asking the same ones, and then they're like, I'm confused why they told me this, but this didn't happen because you didn't use your discernment. And then you also asked the question 47 times to seven different people. So, when we
Mhm.
want everyone to solve our problems for us, how do we consume content?
You have to first realize that we can't solve your problems for you.
Fair.
That's an inside job. The psychics that you're looking for that are going to be the ones who are talking about your path and your purpose, not about, is Donnie ever coming back and what did I do to make him leave me? Is that on your path? Is that part of your purpose?
Hmm.
You start getting in my room and I'm like, I don't give a fuck if
Hmm.
Angel took you off of his top friends list.
On MySpace.
I don't care. Like, I don't care. What is that doing for you?
Hmm.
Because it's not love, right? And love's going to be a byproduct of something else. But it's like, when you ask, there are people out here who would just tell you what you want to hear.
Hmm.
There are people out here who, instead of muting you in their room or blocking you in their room, would just be like, yeah, no, they love you. There are.
Hmm.
There are also people out here who would read your energy and say, oh man, you like them a lot, so they like you too. And then there's people like me who say, are you together?
It
Have
doesn't
you ever
feel
been
like
together?
it.
Because it doesn't. Because where's their thread to you? It's not there. It's not on
Hmm.
your path. Let it go. But it's that discernment of knowing, is the person whose answer I'm seeking someone that I feel as though would lead me appropriately down the path, whatever the path is,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
How do I feel about that? You got to lean into your body.
Hmm.
People are missing that part.
I would also recommend if you're one of those people that have lots of questions to start using psychic readings and booking psychic readings with people you resonate with, because then you can ask some questions and then you can really get some actual guidance that will help you towards whatever roads or questions you're having. So I have a point of view that people aren't using psychics very well.
Oh, they're not. A lot of people want to use psychics to validate their trauma
Yeah.
and to validate their desire. Because what I will tell you is the most of the time when I deliver the whole, like, it's not love and light over here, this is what the fuck's going on, the first thing people typically say is, I knew that. And they're not lying. They did know that. But they were hoping I would validate their other emotion,
Yep.
their other desire. And the answer is no, no. So if people are using them to fulfill their own prophecy, but is yours the right one? Or is it spirit?
Hmm. It also feels like, um, we're faster to answer questions, so you can come with more, and we can drill down to the root of whatever the question was. This happened pretty early on of me doing cards, but this girl had been waffling about this decision about moving um for months. And the answer was like, oh, well, but you want to do this. And she was like, yeah, but we'd already lived apart, so we don't want to live apart again. And I was like, oh, then you just do living apart differently for the year, and then the rest of it is golden. Like, it was such a clear, like, sorry, you're living in the past. The choice is very clear, but
Right.
you have to do it differently this time. And she was
Right.
like, oh, I never even thought about that. I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's why I need you to get with people that see things differently
Yes.
so that they can help you see the way that your path is weaving you, so you stop ignoring it and you stop resisting it, and we can just get you back on your little kayak flowing smoother.
Absolutely. People are typically really stuck in their bullshit. I mean, when they come to us for private readings and things like that, they're stuck in their bullshit.
Yeah.
So I don't tend to be one to perpetuate that cycle.
No.
And the answer is get out of your own way.
And stop resisting.
That's getting out of your own way.
And also stop ignoring what you want. That one keeps coming up for me. Well,
Absolutely. I actually find that majority of the people don't know what they want.
do you think that's because they haven't had the time and space in place to know that they can have what they want?
I don't think they've slowed down enough to actually digest that information.
So they've never asked those questions. They're too busy.
Yeah. But it's like a weird busy of like not actually busy, but busy. Like we all have that friend who's always busy, but
What are they doing?
yeah, like, okay. And it's that energy. Almost like if they really tapped in and dove in there, they wouldn't like what they see because then there would be action to take. And then that's where it gets funny.
Yeah. So the times and places when people would want to seek out a psychic or energy work, what are those sort of top ones for you when you're recommending it for people?
For energy work,
Yeah, and then also working with a psychic about life.
um, working with a psychic about life is when you're ready to actually hear what the path is and where your next step is. It's not our job to break you of that mental loop to put you back on the right direction here. It's also not our job to decide what the right direction is. We're just going to give you what we're given, right? So, like, this is where the path currently is. This is what you got to do to get there. If you're not in the space to make some changes, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, probably it's not time for that reading yet. Might be time for a little shadow work, might be time for some energy work. But when you know, like you're on the precipice of a change and you know that that change has to happen, and you're just like, who, what, when, where, why? How do I figure it out? Hit the link. Hit the link in the bio. Let's go. Energy work is great for people who have maybe just recently had a shift, and like, let's clear that gunk out. Let's rinse and release, and like let's move forward with freedom. If you've had some darker shadow work stuff come up, let's release any of that. Let's clear you out. Let's do the energy work. Also, if you just aren't feeling right in your body, doesn't have to have a reason to it. If you aren't feeling right in your body, let's do the energy work. I find the average bear can use energy work quite consistently, and it's not one you really have to overthink. If you're feeling like, oh, should I get some? Yeah, you should.
Yeah, if the thought's there, the answer is yes, because that means there's something that's ready to move.
Exactly. And that's what we're here to do with that.
That's amazing.
I agree.
We have in fact made it through our list.
Killing it.
Yes. Good work,
Do you think there was
everybody.
anything we were unclear on? I felt like we were very clear.
I mean, they can certainly comment and we can clear it all up. We can
Absolutely.
we can do a shorts and answer, or we can do another longs and answer. They
Yeah.
also can communicate with us on any assorted social media platform that we're on.
Turns out
So
we are available for communication.
we are. I love that for us.
I do too.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
I'm going to go back and watch the videos to see all of the other podcasts that we've found as we've had these conversations.
Absolutely. One last thing. If you are wanting to dive deeper into gifts, like what's up with that? How do I really know I'm psychic? What do I got going on? I am hosting a class. Low cost entrance for a ticket is $5.55. It is on April 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. Okay. For my time zone challenge friends. So come on through. It'll be about an hour, usually Q&A, maybe 75 minutes. You know, we'll get in there, we'll get in the Google Meet, and I will be divulging all my secrets.
There's so many secrets. It's only an hour. It's not that many.
Not that many.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.